Hello, welcome to the course of Computer Network. So today we are going to discuss about the Internetwork. So in this chapter, we will discuss about the Internetworking. Next, we will discuss about the Internet architecture. Next, a few terminologies like intranet, internet, and extranet. Then the protocol used by the Internetworking, Internet address, and last one we will discuss about difference between physical and logical address. So starting with the very first, that is, what is internetwork? Here the interconnected heterogeneous physical network is known as an internetwork or also known as internet. So when the various heterogeneous physical networks are interconnected, they form the internetwork or the internet. Here the physical network consists of both hardware and software. Further, the hardware systems are used to interconnect a set of physical network, whereas the softwares are used to attach computers to provide the universal services. Here a one device, that is router, is used to connect two or more different physical networks. So here the router is an independent hardware system that is used to interconnect the network, and these routers contain a processor, memory, as well as a separate input-output interface for each network. So this is a internetwork. Next is the Internet architecture. Here the Internet consists of a set of networks that are interconnected by the use of router, and sometimes the Internet is also known as virtual network system. Here the Internet allow each organization to choose the number and the type of networks, the number of routers to use to interconnect them, and the type of topologies to interconnect the devices in the network. So this is a diagram that is showing the internet architecture, like there are various devices that are connected to each other wirelessly, and here they are sharing a multiple universal services with each other through the wireless medium. Next is terminologies that are internet, intranet, and extranet. Here the first one is internet. Here the internet is a global network of interconnected network, and here in intranet it is a private enterprise network that uses internet and other web technologies for information gathering and distribution within an organization. So here it means in intranet there are interconnected devices that are present in particular building or an organization. So a network that is established by a particular organization, that is an example of intranet, because the users or the employees of that organizations have only access to that particular network, and the external users are not allowed to access the network. Whereas in extranet, here in this, it is a community of interest created by extending an intranet to selected entities external to an organization. Here the organization provide the restricted access to the member users of some of the services provided by the organization. So here these member users are external to the network, and they are accessing the services of this organization by having their login and their passwords. These are the example of internet, intranet, and extranet. Next is Internet Protocol. Here the Internet use TCP/IP protocol suite. Here the TCP/IP was developed at the same time as the global Internet, and the work on TCP/IP began in 1970s, and at the same time the local area network were developed. Here the researchers who proposed TCP/IP also proposed the internet architecture that we have described above, and here in internet it became commercial in earlier 1990s. Next is network address. Here the network address is a unique code or number which is given to each node or the device in the network. So as this is a very big network, to identify the different devices, we use the network addresses. Here network addresses are unique code, and it is given to every device that is present in the network. So here the each device has its own unique address, and it make easy for the users to communicate within a network. So the example of network addresses are a telephone number in the PSTN network, and an IP address in the internet, and a MAC address in Ethernet network. The next is the difference between physical address and logical address. So further, the network addresses are of two types, that is physical address and logical address. Here the physical address are the MAC addresses and logical addresses are the IP addresses, that is Internet Protocol addresses. Here the MAC stands for Media Access Control, and here in physical address it is 48-bit in length, and whereas the logical addresses are of 32-bit in length. And here the MAC addresses are the unique code that is given by manufacturer, which is encoded in NIC cards, that is network interface card. And here in IP addresses, they are assigned by ISPs, internet service provider, to the devices on the request. Here in physical address, it is associated with data link layer of OSI model, and logical addresses are associated with the network layer of OSI model. Next is the physical addresses are also known as hardware addresses, and logical addresses are also known as virtual addresses. And the format of physical addresses is hexadecimal, whereas the format of the addresses and logical addresses are decimal range from 0 to 255. Here the example of MAC address is like that is represented here by 0013-4E472101, and here in logical address there is example the IPv4 address are represented as 209.161.122.70. so this is a IP address, that is IPv4 address. And in IPv6 address, here the address is 2001:0:323:DFE1:63:FEFB. Here in physical address, the MAC addresses are used by many different layer 2 devices such as Ethernet, token ring, and fiber channel. And here in logical addresses, here the IP addresses is used to identify the different computers and website on the internet or the intranet. So this is the difference between the physical address and the logical address. So this is all about the internet network. Thank you.